All right, welcome back. This is not going to be a full episode. This is going to be a short one. But I do want to start out, let's get some music. Y'all know how we're going to do here. Just build up a little bit of a vibe. I want to do little reflections. I know those of you that heard the first episode was 90 minutes, and it was intense. I spoke about different topics that I want to cover, and I appreciate those of you in the comments. I appreciate those of you that I know for the show's support and encouragement. It's going to get better. It's a work in progress. I think we're off to a good start. Just being me, and I think the word needs a little genuineness. But I know the first episode, was strong. So I got a call from my mom, because I shared the link with my mom, and so she called, and she was, my mom was damn near having a panic attack. I love you, Mom. My mom's like, well, this is good now, Mom. Keep doing it. Just be careful. So, Mom, I love you. My mom is a very loving and caring mother. Appreciative to have such one in my life. Mom, don't worry. My mom believes in God, so I'm going to tell her what I'm going to tell all of you. Just have greater faith. So, I want this episode to be an introduction to a series that I'm going to do, and it's going to be called On God. Like the younger generation be like, On God, On God. So yeah, I got a segment called On God, and it's going to be on God, this thing that we call God. And look, this first episode is key, because it's going to put everything in context. I'm not proclaiming my views to be the one and only, but that's exactly my point. There's not one and only one view. So I don't disregard any other belief or experience that anyone has. But my purpose with this series on God is just to perhaps challenge some people's concept, to perhaps take a deeper look at some of our concepts of what this thing called God is. Because it's my personal opinion that most people don't have as much faith in God as they believe they do. I mean, it sounds nice saying that you believe in God and you have faith in God, but do you really? The next full episode, I'll be sharing my story, and I'll give you more, that'll put more context. Like I said, I want you guys to get to know me so you understand when I'm talking where it's coming from. It's coming from many places, but most of which is lived experience. Most of which is lived experience that was tagged along with the courage to ask questions, with the true faith of understanding that while I may not understand everything, while I may not know everything, that's what's important. I realize that I don't understand everything. I realize that I don't know everything. So therefore, I will be taught. I will be shown. Things will be revealed to me. But it comes with the humility of understanding that, no, I don't have all the answers. So as confidently as you hear me speak, listen to my words. Listen to my words, because here's the reality. Truth often lies in between two extremes, right? We all say that. We all understand that. So if I know the truth lies in between two extremes, why would I ever take an extreme position? We're so used, because in our logical minds, we need everything to be logical, linear, to make sense, to fit in, to have an explanation, to be concrete. But what if reality is not as concrete as what we believe? What if truth is not as concrete as what we believe? So therefore, how could I ever firmly plant myself on certain positions when I know the reality on that position is that the truth lies in between two extremes. When I say place myself in between on a certain position, I chose those words specifically. And I don't want to contradict myself. But there is a time where you may have to choose an extreme. You may have to choose a side. So I wanted to acknowledge that. But when I'm speaking about certain things in life have no black or white answer. It has no black or white definition. So therefore, when I speak about it, my speech is going to reflect that. It's not going to be me avoiding taking a position or saying one definite answer, but it's going to be me attempting to paint a picture of the truth, whatever that may be, or a perspective of that truth. So literally, if you look at truth as a thing, you can view anything from 360 degrees and more, right? 360 degrees is a circle, but then when you take the circle and create a sphere. So look, if we took the truth and put it in the center, there would be that many views of that one truth. So that's kind of tied into this first episode of On God. This one going to be short because sometimes I say sometimes, but oftentimes it doesn't take many words to speak the truth. So I like that beat that we were using. Let's bring that one back in. And this one is just a point. I'm going to call this one God is infinite. Right? This thing that we all call God. Doesn't matter what religion you subscribe to. Doesn't matter what spiritual philosophy, what cultural philosophy. This thing that we all call God. We have different perspectives. We must understand that. We must acknowledge that. We do. And I voiced that before when people have this tendency to project their beliefs and their image of the Creator onto everyone else, as though if we don't accept that belief and that version, then we are godless and that we don't believe in the Creator. And that's not true. So I acknowledge all those perspectives. And we have to accept that we have different understandings and different perspectives. And that's key because God is infinite. This thing that we call God is infinite. Do you understand what infinite means? Infinite means beyond boundaries, man. Beyond your comprehension, man. We're talking about infinite. So how can you ever define something that is infinite? It exists beyond space and time, people. It's infinite. So how can you ever define it? No, you can only seek to understand it. You can only engage with it. You can only have experiences with it. And this thing that existed before time has began. It existed before existence became. It was here before there was light and before there was dark. So how can it ever be defined in one single moment in space and time as an absolute? What I'm saying might be offensive to some of you, but you have to dig deep and hear where it's coming from. We are all attempting to understand something that is beyond our comprehension. It's something that has existed before time has existed and before existence has existed. You understand? And it's all around. We say it's omnipotent. Right? It's most powerful. It's the Alpha and Omega. It's the beginning and the end. So how then can any one of us believe that we have the one and only view of what this thing God is? How can any of us believe that we have a right to say what God has blessed and what God has cursed when the thing is infinite and beyond our understanding? I'm going to talk about this because I'm going to flesh it out in the later episodes. So it makes even more sense. But you have to understand, we all agree that it's infinite. So therefore, what argument or what falsity can you see in what I have just said? If we can acknowledge that God is this thing beyond our comprehension, we don't have the ability to grasp it. We don't know its beginning, and it has no end. And it is, it was, and always shall be. It created us. It created the universe. It is alive. It speaks to all and has been speaking to all as far back as history records. So, the point, God is infinite. And there's strength in understanding that, because when you understand that and when you embrace that, you keep an open mind. And you understand that something that's infinite can never fall to the definition of one perspective. It can never be summarized. It can never be fully defined. So, let us all agree, none of our understandings of the Creator is absolute. And this is not knocking any religion. It's not knocking any cultural belief. It's an acceptance of divine truth. And in my life, when I've accepted that I don't know everything, when I've accepted that there's much more happening than I can see, that, my friends, is when I start to see. Yeah, so God is infinite. Therefore, our discussions of God will forever be infinite. Our experience of God will forever be infinite. And what we come to see and experience in this creation will always be infinite. Yeah, solar guidance.